What's up guys, Caleb here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the LEGO Creator Expert NASA Apollo 11 Lunar Lander. It has 1,087 pieces and retails for $100 in the United States. The box looks really cool with this Creator Expert and then some pictures of it on the side, and does display it. I'm a bit disappointed that it doesn't actually display it with like the stand below there, but it's alright. And then the back of the box does show it on the stand with the play features and everything and them inside of there. So pretty cool box, and I do like how it has the parts on the top. The instructions are pretty normal. It does have some information on the inside on the actual lunar lander, which is pretty cool. You can pause to read that if you want. And it just has a bunch of pages of information on it, which I find interested in quite a few different languages. But besides that, it's a pretty normal, run-of-the-mill building experience, and has the wind thing on the back. And of course the parts list and everything. No advertisements for other sets or anything on the back. But it's a pretty normal instruction manual. Pretty big, actually. First minifig up is Neil Armstrong, and he actually isn't very different from Buzz Aldrin. The only difference they actually have is the face. He has more of a smirk, but you can put that back down, and you can take this really cool gold visor off. And I gotta say, they did a really cool job. It's even got a pretty neat torso print with the NASA and buttons and stuff on it, which is pretty cool. And then the back even has a bit of printing, and no leg printing, unfortunately, but I think it is a really neat figure. And Buzz Aldrin looks pretty much the same, except he's got that different face, which you can just click on. And this is the completed model, and I will say this is my friend's set, so shout out to my friend for letting me borrow this, but I did help build like the first half with them, and it was a pretty repetitive build around the sides, but it was a pretty fun build, so I actually helped build the first half of this LEGO set. I will say once it's done, it looks really, really cool and very accurate to the actual model, I would say. And I think we're going to start off with this moon base, and then we'll get to the actual lunar lander itself, because there's really a lot to unpack with this set. The base is actually really cool. They made it look like the actual base of the moon, which I really like. I prefer this rather than just, them making a boring black stand, making it interesting and pop out to make it look like the base of the moon. I think it's really cool. So to start here, you do have these really cool footsteps leading up to the American flag, which is unfortunately a sticker. There were quite a few stickers in the set, which is a bit of a shame, but it does have this really cool print with this really nice black border along it that I've only seen in architecture sets. I think it's cool to see it in a Creator Expert set, but I really like this fresh black border along it. So there's a bunch of craters around here, and these four with the little gray holes are actually what attaches the moon lander to the moon, which is pretty cool. And then it also has a really big crater here, which actually looks really, really good and was a fun build. And it has some small craters and rocks along the outside of it, but it looks really, really cool and very recognizable, I would say, as the base of the moon. And it doesn't actually attach in any places. The four legs actually just kind of rest in place there. And you just kind of line them all up, make sure they're all lining up in the holes correctly, and it attaches itself pretty well. And I really do like how it looks on the stand. But we can take a look at the actual lander itself, and it really has two parts. It has the actual lander part, and it has the cabin which they store in, which can deconnect fairly easily. It has two clips on the bottom and a thruster, and so it can just lift up off of there, just like in real life, which is really cool. So this attaches to this, and this attaches to the moon, and I think it's really cool how this part comes off. I'm really glad they included that. But the lander part of it does look really neat. It's actually got a ladder leading up to it, and inside are four canisters of oxygen or some sort of tank in there, two red ones and two white ones, which I think is cool, and it just attaches on those clips there. But it is pretty different on, all the sides. I really like this gold color on it with all these gold pieces. I'm sure that's part of why this set was so expensive, is the use of gold pieces and stickers, but it did really turn out looking cool. We even have a ladder here. One cool little feature is on the side, you can actually slide this part out, and there is a laser in there. That's actually quite hard to get in there, but it's this really cool little laser thing, and you can just kind of put that in there, and I really like how it all folds up really effortlessly, and you definitely can't notice it, which is really nice. This part's also neat because you can actually fold open this side, and there is pretty much a tape recorder or camera for them to capture footage on the moon, which is really cool. That does fold up a bit easier because it's actually attached in there with these really neat gold reflective stickers that I very much like. The bottom's pretty neat too because it actually does have a thruster showing how, it actually landed on the moon, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, these legs are just four dishes that kind of just plant down on the moon like that. And they do their job pretty well. It wobbles a little bit, but I kind of like these landing legs, and they definitely look really neat. And here's the part where the actual astronauts are actually inside, and it looks really cool. I like all these like little gadgets and things and scientific equipment on the actual outside of the model. Makes it look really like realistic, I would say. This backside is a little bit dull, I would say. I mean, it's just a blank wall, but the rest of it, very exciting and interesting look to it. You can actually see here they did include a window that does get covered up by this a bit, but I'm sure it's accurate for them to see out of. And in here is actually how they enter. You can literally just push these doors to enter inside of the module. But the best way for human hands to enter is you can actually break off this side and break off this side to access the inside, where I did put Neil and Buzz, and they do look really, really cool in there. They just stand on some studs. I have heard some complaints from some people that it's extremely hard to put them in there. I did not have any trouble with this. I thought it was very easy to put the minifigs inside of there, but they do look very cool inside. But taking them out, we can get a better look at all these really cool stickers that make up all the buttons and stuff. And it's so cool to see these stickers. These are some of the coolest stickers I've ever seen. These two yellow clips and the yellow clips on the back are how the actual wall's attached. But it's really cool to see these prints, well, stickers of, buttons and stuff and controls. And it makes it look very detailed. There's even like a roof on the top of here for when they're upside down, which is actually really cool. On part of this wall, you do have some more controls and what might be a door or a cabinet somewhere. And then over here, we do have the door, obviously, in the window. But there's also a control panel and a lever inside, 2 levers actually, and you can just, pry it out for them to enter, which is pretty cool, and I definitely like it all, on the inside. But in the grand scheme of things, to connect everything up, you literally just connect this part, and then you connect this part. It's very simple to connect this stuff on. Then, of course, you can connect this part onto the actual lander, and it just clicks on like that. And then, of course, you can take the entire thing and just land it on the moon like that. So I think it's really cool how everything just connects up like that. This goes to this, goes to this, and it turns out really, really cool. So at the end of the day, should you buy the LEGO NASA Apollo 11 Lunar Lander set? I would say heck yes, go for it. I think this is an incredible set. I think I'm going to give it a solid 89 out of 100. I think the main problem with this set is actually the price. I think $100 for this is a little bit steep. I would have preferred it being 80 or 90, but I think once you just buy it and just spend the $100, you won't be disappointed with the set, right? Like, this is a really, really incredible set and is extremely accurate to the real model, which is really cool to see. But this is Super Productions signing off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe, and shout out to my friend for letting me borrow this set, and keep your eyes peeled because tomorrow I'm going to be launching a St. Patty's Day video. That's going to be very fun, and I have a very cool St. Patrick's Day mock for you guys to see. So make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.